So here we are. The equipment that you're going to receive will come in 3 boxes. One is the indexer, which looks like this, and it's actually just the stepper drive unit. The indexer itself comes in this other case, and it's kind of delicate, so we put it in a separate case. You bring it out and you set it down next to the driver unit, and it plugs in on the side. There's only one place it plugs in, so you can't really do it wrong. And what you already can see here is that we've already put the power cord, which is this blue cable here. It's plugged in. You just plug that into regular 110 volts. And of course you got to have that plugged into something that'll stay on the entire time, because if you stop it, everything stops. Then the cable here is about 50 feet long, and it goes to the motor drive unit. And that's the motor drive unit. It'll come in this bigger box. Open this box so we can see what's inside there. So it'll come all packed in there. It has this little support piece that helps hold it down into the case. We're not going to bother showing it in the case, but that's the way it travels. And it just plugs in with a Molex connector. It's only one way to plug it in. And then back here, you bolt that to your dolly any way you can. And then this arm goes down and that wheel rides on the dolly track. Okay. Now you can put more weight on that if you want, sandbags or anything to give it a little more traction. But there's not a huge amount of traction you're going to get off of something like that. It's just friction. But it would be a good idea to put like a sandbag or something across it.
Make sure your rail is clean and dry.
Yeah.
No oil.
So now it's all plugged in. Let's take a look at how you operate this thing. The main thing is how you operate this indexer. It has a bunch of switches on it, but there's only a couple you care about. The most important is that you're going to run it in what's called the continuous mode. It's this left-hand switch is down. The other switches there don't really make any difference. Let's leave it. It doesn't make any difference what position this is in, and this one you don't use either. The acceleration switches determine how fast the thing starts up. We think this 9 is pretty good, and it's the one labeled with the orange tape. But you can play with that when you're sitting still. We'll do it and operate in a second. You can see what it does. It's a matter of how long it takes to reach your velocity. And velocity is the next thing with the red tape, and it's done in feet per minute. So this is 1 foot per minute, 2 foot per minute, 2.5 feet per minute, etc. So this is tenths of a foot. This is feet. The position we don't use, but we do use plus and minus because that's which direction you're going to go, the one with the white tape. So if you start it at 1 foot per minute, you put this on 1.0, like it was 1.0. Plus goes one direction, minus goes the other. And then you just use these 2 buttons here. There's a start and stop. So the only thing you have to do over here is just turn the whole thing on. The indexer gets its power from the main box. Matter of fact, it gets its power from this little power supply down here, so make sure that little cable's plugged in right here. And you can run it with this box closed. It's got a nice fan on it, and set it on top.
Put some tape over it.
And it's ready to go. And so when you push the start button, the motor starts up, and it'll take, you can probably hear it, but it's turning now. It'll take 1 minute for it to travel 1 revolution, and 1 revolution is almost exactly 1 foot. If you want to stop it, you just go back over here and hit the stop button, which is the one in yellow. Start, stop.
And you might want to reverse it. So
And if you want to reverse it, and it'll change the rate. Go ahead and hit start. And now we'll look at the motor again, and you can see it's going in the other direction. You can go pretty slow with this. You can go so slow you can barely see the thing move, and it's very accurate. It doesn't change speeds when you change the numbers. You have to stop it and then change the speed. Let's go slow. You have to stop it and then change the speed. And then you can start it again and it'll start with the new speed. Now it's going so slow you can't even really see it move. But if you watch very carefully, you can see the white mark is rotating clockwise. That's 1/10 of a foot per minute. Okay. Let's go to 1/2 foot per minute. I can change the speed once it's running. I just have to change the dial and then press start again. And now it's going a little faster. And that's how it works. Again, these switches don't make any difference. Velocity makes a difference. Position makes no difference. Okay? All you care about is that this is in the continuous mode, that you've selected an acceleration, which 0.9 is a pretty good acceleration. And then that's how fast it's going. This is 1.5 feet per minute. And this is going one direction, and if I wanted to go the other direction, you'd have to stop it and then start it up again and it'll go the other direction. The reason is that motors like this can't start instantly. So if I want it to go kind of fast, it's like 10 feet per minute. You can hear that acceleration and watch the way it when you stop it, it also decelerates. And that's how it works.